Paltrocast. How's your day going aside from doing press and all that?
Uh, Pretty good. It's raining, but can't complain. Quiet. Played golf yesterday, so I feel good
Yeah,
being inside because it was pouring rain yesterday on the course.
you mentioned golf. Were you recruited to college because of your golf ability, or did you pick that up in college?
I grew up playing golf, but yeah, I went to school for to play golf on the varsity team, but I wasn't recruited from France. I was just a five handicap, wasn't, top level.
Wow. So when we go down your list of job titles, I think that qualifies to call you a golfer, but actress, now author, maybe have produced a thing or two. But which of those titles is most important? Is it golfer?
uh Probably mother and wife, that's what's most important to me, but for you it might be golfer.
No, 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 no. So we were set up to talk about your book, which feeds into being a mother and a wife and a hardworking individual. How long did it take for you to actually write the book?
It took me a little bit over a year. It's a workbook, so it's not as in I think it was a different process than writing, fiction or a memoir. It was a collaborative effort with Given Our mental health national nonprofit that I'm an ambassador with a lot of people who helped along the way. So yeah, about a year.
So when you started shopping the book, were you shopping it as a workbook or did it evolve into that format?
No, it was a workbook from the beginning. The book came about because I did a series of webinars with Given Hour during COVID to encourage people to create a playbook for their life.
Hmm.
This is a concept that I used for my own emotional well-being.
Hmm.
And basically what it is to have one place for all the things that help you in life. Maybe it's your golf swing tips. Maybe it's notes from therapy. Maybe it's reminders of your greatest achievements. We're all different. We have different things that help us navigate life better. So we brought a series of webinars to people during COVID. And the one question that kept coming up was, what do I put in my playbook? And I kept saying it's personal. We're all different. And then somebody suggested, why don't you write a workbook to guide people through exercises that will help them build the content of their playbook. And we thought it was a great idea, Given Hour and I. And so we wrote a book proposal and approached agents with that concept.
So self-help is nothing new. The self-help section for decades has been a big thing at bookstores, but not the mental health aspect of it. I find that that's only been a big deal the last 10 to 15 years because prior to that, it was, oh, you're in pain, huh? Rub some dirt on it. It was the prior generations that kind of did that. When did you start to notice that mental health was an okay topic for people to talk about in everyday conversation?
Well, I was one of those people who actually poo-pooed self-help for many years. Like I remember a friend of mine gave me a book when I was in my 20s and I started reading it and I was like, what is this load of crap? And then, in just around being 40, when my career started going up, I found myself in a new environment. There was a lot of pressure. It was new for me. And I thought I just couldn't handle the pressure, but eventually I realized that it was more the fact that I didn't have the emotional tools, the mental tools to navigate this new environment. And I completely lost my confidence because my self-worth was all tied up in people's opinions and career success. Um, so yeah, I was one of those people until then I needed to do something for my own emotional well-being. And then I dove into books and I was embarrassed the first time I bought the first book that led me to do this into this journey was The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. And I was embarrassed that I bought that book. But then it really changed my life and started me on this journey that has brought, a lot more meaning to my life and purpose. And it's really changed my life. So, and also I think we are in a mental, we hear this all the time repeated to us. We are in a mental health crisis. 1 in 3 Americans, I think, is diagnosed with mental illness. But mental health, we all have mental health, and there's things that we can all do every day to help ourselves with our well-being. And that's what this book is about.
So you mentioned before that things really took off for your acting career in your 40s, and I believe you got your start around 29, something around there. So it's an interesting second career. Do you feel that you were better prepared, that you didn't have immediate success and you'd had a normal job at first, or did you really have imposter syndrome for a bunch of years?
Oh no, I had imposter syndrome because for 10 years I hustled to get jobs, and then it was just being in this, a big studio set with big actors. It's new, but it's not just for actors. I think any of us can. I had imposter syndrome writing this book, and I had to take my own advice and remind myself, it's okay. I'm learning. I'm going to ask for help. I'm going to ask people's opinions. And so it's really, imposter syndrome, I think, just means that you are doing something that's a little bit above where you used to be to operate in. You're pushing yourself, and you can either look at it like, oh shoot, I don't belong here and I'm going to get fired and people are going to laugh at me, or you can look at it like, I'm learning something new. Great, let me ask for help, and hooray for learning something new.
Well, as we mentioned before, you have a lot of job titles as it is. And once you are an author, the speaking engagements come. And you mentioned before doing workshops. But was this part of the plan 15, 20 years ago? Did you have author aspirations early on?
No, not at all. No. And in fact, I wanted to write a book idea came to my mind about boobs for teenage girls, because I realized that there's a lot of talk about body image, but not much talk about boob image. And so my idea was to write sort of a spoof on "Oh, the places you'll go" and call it "Oh, the titties you'll grow," and help girls gain confidence. You're chuckling. You like that.
Yeah.
But and so I actually connected with somebody, a coach, to help me craft the idea. The idea was done, but to help me um, sell the idea and pitch the idea. And this person asked, have you ever thought about writing a different book? Have you ever thought about speaking? And I was like, hell no, no, that's not me. And then I went to bed at night and I was like, wait a second, maybe I do have a message to send. So the next day I asked her, wait, what do you think? And that was the little seed that was first planted. And then the concept of the playbook, just seeing how it resonated with others. The book sort of presented itself. It was just about, are we taking this opportunity or not?
Now, I find the only industry that's slower than film in entertainment is book publishing. And when I say that, when I turned in my manuscript 7, 8 months ago for a book that's still not out for 3 more months, my literary agent was going, hey, so what's the next thing you're going to write? Did you have that happening where you were just not even done, or you just finished your book and you already had somebody going, hey, so Stephanie, what's the next book?
No, nobody's asked me that. Uh-oh. Shoot, Darren.
Well, you already have that idea in the can.
And the other one, yeah. Yeah.
Well, are you thinking ahead in general that you go, I'd like to write more books, or is it just such a painstaking process that you go one and done, back to the acting?
Both at the same times. Like a lot of things that I do, it's like, oh, maybe. And then it's like, no, I'll never do that again. So who knows?
Got it. Now, this has to be a unique experience for you, because when you're interviewed as an actress, they go, tell me about the motivation behind this. And you're not really talking about yourself so much. It's about being a guarded thing. Yet this book really is kind of all about your journey. So did that take a little bit of getting used to with putting yourself out there more?
Yep. And still does. I'm not actually, a lot of actors are not comfortable talking about themselves. And that's why we are comfortable getting in other people's shoes and portraying somebody else on screen. So yeah, It takes a lot of getting used to, but really, like I said before, what drives me to do it is seeing the impact it has on people. Given the mental health organization I was telling you about, they worked with a school in Indiana, and they guided girls in 5th and 6th grade to create their own playbooks. And in it, they put the what they were grateful for and what helps them when they're not feeling good, and what can help one of their friends, what they can do to help a friend when they're not feeling good. And it was a paper playbook, and seeing that was amazing. So I know the impact that it's had on my life. I think a lot of us are looking for progress. I think a lot of us are also getting bombarded with information all the time, and from media and news and sports, and
Sure.
it's easy to get distracted from what serves you well. So having a playbook is a great tool to quiet down all the noise and just reconnect to what helps you in life.
Well, one more question about the book, one more question about you, and then you're free. And
All
the
right.
first question about the book is, a lot of the times when you deliver a book, the literary agent or the publisher goes, do not give me more than X number of words, no more than 100,000 words. Was there good cutting room floor kind of stuff that didn't make this book that maybe you could unearth in an expanded edition or a future book?
No, yeah, no, we stayed, we always knew, we always were in agreement from the beginning of the format of it, and that we needed a little backstory. I don't think I'm anyone to have a memoir or anything like that. That's not something no.
Your words, not mine. I'm not.
Well, I don't know. You said, was there any cutting room, like subtext,
Well, sometimes
What was the second question?
that if there was leftover stuff that you go,
Oh, yeah.
well, this might wind up somewhere else in the future because we already wrote it.
No, I think this is it. This is it.
Follow up to that, and then I'll ask the real final question. Are we allowed to know what project of yours is coming out next, or does the strike prevent answering that question?
Well, you're allowed to, because I don't know what's coming up next. So
So hurry up and wait and check the Instagram. Okay. And the last question is, now we talked about how you're passionate about motherhood and your family and golf and acting and producing and all that.
I've
But
never produced, but that would be
I
cool.
thought, okay, so is IMDb wrong? I thought there was a producer credit or two. Okay, it happened. Well, so feeding into that question was, is there anything that you haven't yet accomplished as somebody who came into entertainment later after having worked normal jobs and all that? Is there anything you're still hoping to accomplish or work on that you haven't yet?
Yeah, but I don't know what it is. But yes, I hope there's plenty that I haven't accomplished yet. And I hope that whatever is coming up will surprise me just as much as this book, because it's great to be surprised late in life and learn new things.
So it sounds like you can use your book to figure out what that next project is.
Yeah, you're right. The impossible future exercise.
Yes, so it's an applicable book for everybody, no matter where they are on their mental health journey, their selfish journey, their career journey, etc. So congratulations on writing something that's universal.
Yeah, I think it's a great book for anyone who's in a transition, any age, whether you're, leaving college, whether you are leaving your job or starting a new job, or your kids are leaving home. It's You're an empty nester, or anyone who's looking to is feeling like something is missing in life. It's really a journey of self-reflection and self-exploration, and to remind yourself of who you are, what you're capable of, what you've gone through, what you desire, and how to get there.
Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for putting this book out into the world, and looking forward to seeing you on a screen in a great role very soon.
Thank you so much, Darren, for having me. I really appreciate it.
Paltrocast.